Welcome to Mill Creek Kids at Home. My name is Alyssa. I'm new to the team, but I'm very excited to see all that we have in store for today. So sit back and get ready.
I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart, and the joy of the Lord is my strength. Yeah. I've got the J-O-Y deep inside. I try to keep it in, but I can't hide the love that you have given me. I just want the world to see that you're the only one who makes me smile. I don't worry, 'cause I'm your child. Every day I look to you. You give me joy that's breaking through. I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart, and the joy of the Lord is my strength. Yeah. I've got the J-O-Y deep inside. I try to keep it in, but I can't hide the love that you have given me. I just want the world to see that you're the only one who makes me smile. I don't worry, 'cause I'm your child. Every day I look to you. You give me joy that's breaking through. I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart, and the joy of the Lord is my strength. Yeah. And the joy of the Lord is my strength. Yeah. Come on. I've got the joy. 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 I've got the J-O-Y deep inside. I try to keep it in, but I can't hide the love that you have given me. I just want the world to see that you're the only one who makes me smile. I don't worry, 'cause I'm your child. Every day I look to you. You give me joy that's breaking through. I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart, and the joy of the Lord is my strength. I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart. I've got the joy down in my heart, and the joy of the Lord is my strength. Yeah. And the joy of the Lord is my strength. Yeah. Who breaks the power of sin and darkness? Whose love is mighty and so much stronger? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder and leaves us breathless in awe and wonder? The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King of glory, who rules the nations with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Yeah, this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy, worthy, worthy. Oh, this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. All that you've done for me.
Well, welcome back. We are once again learning about another wonderful woman in the Bible, and this one also had a book named after her, just like Ruth that we learned about last week. This week we're learning about Esther. Esther was pretty special, and I'm not going to give away a lot of the story because you're about to watch it right now. So come back after watching the story and we're going to wrap it up and talk about a couple of really cool details about this story that I want you to think about.
It's time for a Bible story. A long time ago, there was a woman named Esther who lived in the land of Persia.
Oh, that's where all those fancy rugs come from, right?
Yeah.
Those are nice. Little pricey, though.
God had an amazing plan for Esther's life. She would be remembered forever as a hero.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Super Esther. What does she do? Save the planet from a meteor?
Nope.
Did she rescue 1,000,000 kittens from a tree?
No.
Did she carry a bomb out of Gotham City on the Batwing so everyone wouldn't blow up, but you're not sure for like 5 minutes if she made it or not?
No, that's Batman. Come on.
Right. Still gets me every time.
Esther did something even more amazing than all of those things, and it sure took a lot of guts to do it.
All right, lay it on me. What's the sitch?
Well, first of all, Esther and her family were Jewish, which was kind of a big deal back then in Persia.
What do you mean?
Well, at the time, the Jewish people weren't really liked by the Persians. In fact, they had to live in exile, and they weren't treated very well at all.
Yikes, that's no good.
Esther was also an orphan, and she lived with her cousin Mordecai, who protected and raised her after her parents died.
Sweet beard, bruh.
Then one day, something happened that would change Esther's life big time. The king of Persia wanted to find a new wife, so he put on a huge beauty pageant where the winner would become the queen.
Wait, really? That's a pretty weird way to get hitched. Like, congratulations, you're the new Miss America, and we're married.
Well, as weird as it may sound, that's what the king wanted to do, so that's what happened. Women from all over the kingdom were there, but there was only one that the king favored.
Paula Deen.
What?
Yeah, think about it. He would eat like a king. Well, I mean, I guess he's already a king, but think about how awesome every meal would be. Breakfast, bacon. Lunch, biscuits and gravy. Dinner, butter bacon biscuits with a side of butter.
Come on, Paula Deen wasn't around then. This happened like thousands of years ago. Esther was very beautiful, and God gave her favor in the king's eyes, so just like that, she won the pageant.
Wait, so Esther became the queen of Persia?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool and all, but didn't you say that Esther was Jewish and that, like, the Persians didn't like Jewish people?
That's true, but the king didn't know that Esther was Jewish. She didn't want him to find out because she didn't know what would happen to her. So she kept it a secret and never brought it up.
Okay, so, like, now she's the queen. Crazy. Is that it?
No way. This is where the story really picks up. There's another guy that works for the king named Haman, and he's a pretty bad dude. He hates the Jewish people, so much so that he actually brings an idea to the king that would be terrible: to kill all of the Jewish people.
Whoa, that's really rough. Like, surely the king doesn't go through with it, right?
Actually, Haman gets the king to agree and sets the plan in motion.
Wait, but if all the Jewish people are killed, that would be horrible. They're like God's chosen people, aren't they? And that's where Jesus would eventually come from. This can't happen. Somebody's got to do something.
And that's where Esther comes in. She can't stand the thought of seeing her people get wiped out by Haman's awful plan, but she doesn't know what to do.
I know what she should do. Time to lay down the law and tell the king not to do it. She probably kicked into mama bear mode and was all like, "Listen here, buddy."
Let me stop you right there. Keep in mind that this is like ancient Persia. You couldn't just approach the king whenever you wanted to, even if you had a reason. Anytime someone would just pop off to the king, they'd usually get a pop off themselves.
Ah, gotcha. So I guess she's in a pretty tough spot, huh?
Totally. On one hand, she didn't want to see her people destroyed, but on the other hand, she can't just walk up to the king and tell him what to do.
Even the queen?
Nope, nobody could just walk up and talk to the king, period.
Man, this is tough stuff. So what'd she do?
Even though her mind was filled with doubt and worry about what would happen to her, she had to do something. Esther knew that no matter what her feelings were telling her, she was a child of God. She knew that God loved her and that he had blessed her life, and that if she stood up for God's people, that God would back her up.
Yeah, that's right. You go, Esther.
Esther trusted God and boldly went before the king. The nobles and the guards that surrounded him couldn't believe what they were seeing. Who did this woman think she was, that she could just walk up to the king on her own?
Oh man, I bet her feelings were totally freaking out.
I'm sure she was feeling a lot of things. She asked the king if she could make a request, and to everyone's surprise, the king wasn't upset. He didn't call for her to be taken away by the guards or thrown in jail, but instead, he listened.
Phew, that was intense. Okay, he's listening. Time to land the plane.
But she couldn't do it.
What? She chickened out? Bummer.
No, not exactly. She didn't want to come right out and tell the king everything, so she asked to have a banquet and planned to tell him there.
Okay, so there's still a chance to save her people. Come on, Esther, you can do it.
Later at the banquet, she went before the king with another request.
All right, here we go. Showtime.
But she was still too nervous.
Goodness gracious, you weren't kidding when you said her feelings were freaking out.
Totally. She was feeling all kinds of things, even questioning if the whole thing was a mistake. But her cousin Mordecai encouraged her and reminded her that what God says is more important than her fears and doubts, and he told her something that she would never forget. Esther, you were put here for such a time as this.
Yeah, come on, Esther, you got this.
Esther had dinner with the king again, and the moment came for her to ask her question. She took a deep breath, and she went for it. She pleaded with him not to go through with Haman's plan to kill the Jews. She finally told him that she was Jewish herself, and if Haman's plan goes through, that she would have to die too.
Man, Esther is one tough cookie. What happened next?
The king was moved by Esther's request and agreed to what she asked. He immediately got rid of Haman and canceled the plan to wipe out the Jewish people.
Yeah, you did it, Esther.
The king also gave all of Haman's wealth and property to Esther and Mordecai. Not only that, but the king signed a new decree to protect the Jewish people and keep them safe. The people of Israel were saved.
Man, Esther is like a real-life superhero. Move over, Wonder Woman. Esther can take you any day.
Esther decided to put her trust in who God said she was more than what she felt. And because of that, her entire country was saved. The end.
Whew, that was quite a story, was it not? Starts out with this freaking beauty pageant. I mean, have you ever been in a beauty pageant? I haven't been in a beauty pageant. Maybe I should have been, just kidding. Next, we have this crazy situation, right? Where the children of Israel, once again, are going to be terminated because of a law or because of a decree. I think my favorite part about Esther was that she was diligent even though she was scared, right? In the story, it takes her 3 times to come to the king and actually tell him what's going on. And he loved her. She was his chosen bride. And she had great favor in the king's eyes. And so God used that to truly save his people. But it took courage for her to go before the king, knowing what the rules were, knowing what the laws were. I mean, she had to be really bold, you guys. It's pretty amazing that she was able to actually go and tell him what was going on, and how awesome it is that Haman got kind of what he deserved, right? He's trying to be all sneaky behind everybody's back and literally take out an entire people group. He thought he was going to win, but guess what? God got the last word. And what's amazing, one of my very favorite lines in that entire scriptural story is that, Esther, you were made for such a time as this. And each one of us will have times in our lives where we are presented with something difficult, but guess what? You were put there for such a time as this. So remember that when things seem impossible, but somehow you have an opportunity to speak up. Maybe you speak up for someone else. Maybe you have to speak up for your family. Maybe you have to speak up for someone who can't speak up for themselves. God put you in that situation for such a time as this. It's time for our memory verse. Read along with me. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. You know the routine. We're taking away a few words. Let's try again. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. All right, let's do it again. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Keep practicing. We'll be doing this again next week. Welcome to Craft Corner. Today we have been hearing the story about Esther and the amazing epic way that she saved the people of Israel, the way that God used her to save the people of Israel. And so what we have for you online is you can download these really cool little puppet pieces. Now, there's 2 different ones. One that you could actually color in yourself that's black and white, or one that's already colored in. But the idea here is that you can actually make your own puppets show and reenact the story. So Marcia just got the King of Persia.
There's the
I
King
like
of
how
Persia.
you color coordinated the stick with his,
With this color.
with his beautiful color.
Awesome. Oh, I got a green one for Mordecai.
I've got Haman here.
And we're
Haman's-
using glue dots.
or tape.
You can tape it.
Yep.
You can actually glue it and lay and let them
Yep, let them
dry.
sit and dry.
I don't have much patience for that. That's why I like glue dots.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool because also
Oops.
part of the story is this
I put Mordecai on crooked. Oh.
declaration. Now this says invitation. So you could actually use this for more than one thing.
Oh, that's
You
right.
could say an invitation was sent to Esther to come to the palace
Here's Esther.
to partake in the beauty pageant, right?
Right.
Or it could be, you could call it a decree and say, Haman made up this decree that the people of Israel should all have to die. Right? So you can get really dramatic with it. Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So we've got all the main characters here. We've got Haman.
Mordecai, the king of Persia.
Yes.
I think his name was Xerxes.
Was it Xerxes?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, might
Yeah,
have
I
been.
think so. I better
Was
double check.
Artaxerxes? There was an Artaxerxes once too. But
I don't know.
I don't know.
But there he is. We
That's
got
a
the
movie.
king. Look it up.
Yes, look it up.
Look it up.
Read it in your Bible because that is where the magic happens.
That's right.
Yes. And then we've got Queen Esther. Show us Queen Esther.
There she
I mean,
is.
and
Color
all her
coordinated.
radiant beauty. Come
That's
on
right.
now. So have fun with your puppets. Reenact the Bible story. In fact, go to your Bibles and read it directly. It is such a fascinating story. So our little video only shows kind of part of it, but there's a lot of information in there. So
Hey, Lynette, you want to come to my beauty pageant?
sure. Something tells me I might not win.
We'd love to see you reenact the story, so please send us videos. Talk to you later. See you next time.